Hello, welcome to Tip Drops with Khalida, another live session this week because today is beautiful weather, last day of sunshine this week, and I wanted to share with you the view. I will take you closer because this week we have the leaves changing colors and some of them falling already. So I want to share the beautiful environment. You can maybe see it in the mirror even. And I had a request from Magdalena, for how to release your Achilles area. So this might be, if you feel very tight here between the heel and the calf muscle, there are a few things that you can try, safe things that you can try and do. Sorry, I had to close the door. That you can try and do, and maybe they will be of help. So first of all, what you will need for today are a couple of yoga blocks, or this can be a small step. I want you to be able to elevate your foot a bit. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be yoga blocks, but for me, these are nice and portable. So something to put your foot on. It can be a little step also, or a ledge, or a couple of books. And then something to put under your feet, under your toes. I am using these Anatomy in Motion wedges, as you can see, triangle shaped, which are pretty easy to use. They're part of an online course that you can get for £15, which I recommend a lot. If you have any issues with the feet or posture or legs or hips, this course might be good for you to try. Anyway, if you don't have anything like this, grab something, something that you can put under a couple of parts of the feet. It can be socks or rolled up tissue or something like this. Anything that gives you a bit of elevation and that you can wedge under your feet. I'll be using the wedges, but I have shown this with a couple of pairs of small socks. Also works. So I'll chuck them in there. Why use these things for the feet? As you may know, our Achilles is a connection. It's not separate from the calf muscles or from the heel. It's actually connected, and it runs from the calf muscle all the way to here and over the heel into the muscles underneath the feet. So if, say this is your foot, if your foot muscles are tight, and they can be, hi Magda, this one's for you. If the muscles under your feet are tight, and they can be tight in a short circumstance, so contracted, or they can be tight and long and locked. So if the bones of the foot don't move in all the ways they could, you may have a bit of tightness here, and that will pull on the part that connects the foot to the leg. So there also might be some tightness, some tightness in the calf muscles, especially where both layers connect. So this is my leg, where both layers connect. And these pressure points, you can release them by hand, which I will demonstrate. And there's also a separate tip drop to go deeper into that, as well as under the feet. Now, there are two ways to release muscles that are locked long or short. One is to feel for trigger points and gently press them, breathe, and let them release on their own. Or you can move the joints around them, which will entice and tempt the muscles to contract and or release, whichever direction they are not going. So if a muscle is a bit tight, the way we think of releasing them is pulling them, but that's actually not the best way to go. If a muscle is tight and stuck, if you contract it a bit more, then it might be easier to release. And if it's locked long, our initial instinct is to pull it, but letting that one release will give you. So the point is, making all these parts move in whatever way possible will give the Achilles, which is in between both parts that may be pulling, some release. And if it gets release, then it's able to heal. So it will give you less trouble. Let's first begin with the calf muscle, because that's easiest to demonstrate and easiest to feel. And a good way to test if there is any tightness is to plie. So plie, I mean bending and straightening your leg and feeling if there's any tightness going on when you do that, and also test whether left and right feels the same. So this is about, I did a bit of a workout today with my boost classes, so I am warmed up. But usually, first thing in the morning, my plie is pretty tight. So try it with me. Then we'll do one leg and see if there's any difference. So the best way to hunt for any trigger points in your calf muscles is to elevate the foot. Then you can more easily reach it And I feel for where the big muscle, the ones on top that you can see here, ends and goes into the thinner part. So the way to find trigger points is to grab your fingers, press in, and then move the knee forwards. And if this feels painful or tight, let me show you the exact spot. So here is the bigger muscle, as you can see. If you feel it, where it meets the part underneath, there you press, and then your knee goes forward. I can even do this on the table, maybe it's easier to see. I feel some tightness there. So that's one common trigger point. And what you do to release it is simply hold the pressure in. Not so hard that you cry, but that you can feel it. You inhale here. Hi, Lisa. And as you exhale, you move your leg a bit. So we are releasing the calf muscle, potential trigger points. And then you move your fingers, you search it also maybe on the inside at about the same height. You press in until you feel like a bit of soreness maybe, or sensitiveness. And you can also use 2 fingers on each side, more trigger points. Once you feel a sweet spot, you breathe and you wait and you move a bit. And moving the knee to the front, that'll really tell you if you found the right spot. And you can work your way down across the sides of the Achilles, because there's thin muscles running there connecting your foot with your leg. And all of those may help. So I walk my hands down, I move my knee to the front, and if I feel anything, I keep moving, I keep breathing, and I keep the pressure. And after about 10 or 15 seconds, it may start releasing a bit. But even if it doesn't release right away, it will give you some neurological feedback. And if you feel this spot that was being tight and sore, even though you didn't feel it before you put some pressure on it, it may be enough to help it release. So try it a couple of times. Now, so this is for if you don't have a foam roller for the calf muscles. I find the search and release method with the fingers a bit more effective than using a foam roller, because that's like a very rough way to do it, and with the fingers you can fine tune. Now try left and right, and you may already have a bit more plie on the side that you palpated. Now if you are practicing shimmies and your tight legs give you trouble, doing this on both sides and then shimmying again already might give you more space. So that's one thing. This area, give it a good trigger point massage. Second thing you can do is use the wedges or some socks or anything you can wedge under your foot. I will try a couple of options. I have little socks, also work. And the places you want to put them in order to have your foot move a bit more are under the pad of the big toe, under the pad of the little toe, and slightly right under the heel. So I'll demonstrate with socks, which is a bit of a ghetto solution, but it may help. So the biggest one goes under the big toe, under the pad, and as you can see, my big toe is now supported and the rest rests here, which means there will be more movement and space in the bones of my big toe, also the bones that go deeper into the foot. And all this to make this part move, which will in turn make the heel bone move and the bone between the heel bone and the foot. All of this movement may help to release the muscles that are stuck in here. And they can get stuck for plenty of reasons. Not enough movement, a lot of the same movement, or maybe even something happening up in the hips and pelvis. All of this influences each other. So instead of worrying about it too much, give your body some new movement, and that may be of help. So I have a little pair of socks on the right diagonal part of the heel, under the pad of the little toe. So my little toe is supported. Under the pad of the big toe, the bigger socks. Now like this, I want my knee to travel beyond my foot. Even though they say in fitness or weight exercises, don't let the knee come to the front, it is a healthy movement range as long as you control how much gravity goes in it. And not having any weights, but just moving gently beyond your foot, there's nothing wrong with that. It will help maybe even to give you more movement. So if you feel this, I'm moving my knee, and as you can see, I'm turning my body a bit, and I can even reach with my hand. I feel a pretty deep pressure under the big toe and a weird feeling between the toes because they are now moving on top of the socks. So try this. It may or may not help you, but if it is of help for some of you already, I am happy. And walk around. If your foot feels more alive, if you can feel the floor better, already you have given it some extra input which may help it release. And now try the plie again. And for me, I don't know if you can see the difference, but I feel that I can, at least with less effort, with less resistance, come a bit lower. Let me measure it from here. So that's the one that okay, that's here. And the other one. Yes, there is a difference. This is maximum on the untreated leg. This, where I did both the calf muscle and the foot. So doing both sides around your Achilles, doesn't matter which part was most tight, but if you do both, all the better. Try this. Let me know if your left and right then is different. And then of course do the other leg also. So for completeness sake, I hope this works for any of you. Let me know if it does. Because for me, this made a world of difference. I always struggled a lot with pliés in ballet. My feet were on lock because they were protecting my ankles, and my calf muscles were so tight because I wasn't used to the ballet exercises. So getting a free, well, this is now free, having a way to help yourself, I think is so important for dancers or humans, for anyone. If you can help yourself and you can help your loved ones to move without pain, it can save you money, time and frustration. So I'm moving to the front, hunting for the trigger points. So I cup my calf muscle, and where my fingertips end, I press in there, and then I move my knee to the front. And I might have to travel out and in on the sides. This one is not as tight. Oh, but I feel it. When you travel up the calf muscle a bit, and you breathe and you smile, you think good thoughts. Puppies, anything you like. World peace. A cure. Okay, then find new spots. So first around the calf muscle connection, and then you can travel down to the sides of the Achilles. So the muscles run along here, right behind the ankle. And it can be pretty sore, so go easy on yourself in the beginning. It's enough when you feel it, and then you move against it. This will also give you better control. You will feel your movements better, and that will help you move with more grace, more ease. Because body-mind connection, it's like a fashion word, but if you feel it improving, if you feel it happen, then you know how much of a difference it makes in your movement, also for movement health. So, okay, I did find some spots, especially the lower part on this side. Let's try this before I go into the foot. A little bit better already. And this may not hold for more than one day, but at least for the day where you did the exercise, you will be able to move more freely. So do this whenever you need it. You don't need to wait a long time. Try it once a day if you are really tight, and then afterwards you can just go into maintenance mode and do less. I'll now demonstrate with the wedges, which are pretty cheap, but the socks, as you saw, the socks also work. So the big one goes under the big toe pad. Maybe you can see it better with this one, that's why I'm using the wedges also. I hope you can see it. So the big one, the rest of my toes are hanging off. And actually it's better to not do this on a mat, but do it on a harder floor, like so, because then you can feel the pressure better. This goes under the pad of the little toe, where it meets the ground. And it will help, if your feet are so tight that these parts don't meet the ground, they will feel resistance and the bones will be able to move. And this goes diagonally in the back of the heel, like so. Voila! So your foot is now in kind of a position like this. And then if you move the knee, the wedges, you can get them if you sign up for the Anatomy in Motion Wake Your Feet Up course. You get a link to get the wedges when you sign up for the course. So they are like part of one package. And I highly recommend it. I will send the link, or I'll put the link under here. I use them all the time, and there's different positions you can use them for, but for this release in particular, that's my favorite because that's the one that I need the most for ballet because my calves get tight. This constellation is just one of many that you can try, but it's the one that I like here. You're welcome, you're welcome. So what you do is, and I like the teacher a lot, he knows so much about movement, and it's a safe way to give yourself more range of motion. So you move your knee further than the foot, and if you have not done that in a long time, it's very beneficial. And you can help yourself by rotating the upper body. I have to scoot back so you can see me, and reaching with the hands. And if this feels a bit off and as if you're almost losing balance, but not painful, then it's a good thing to do. Okay, scoot it to the side. And until you get the wedges, use 3 pairs of socks. A big one, 2 little ones. And help yourself. Yes, this feels better. Then try a shimmy and walk around. Just walking around barefoot. Walk on stuff. Give your toes, give your feet a lot of input. So if your feet are tight, what I sometimes do is make an obstacle course. Just put stuff on the floor and gently wrap my... Don't use Lego, that's too painful. And gently wrap your feet around them. It can be yoga blocks. I have this thing. And I let my feet just wrap around them. Or a yoga block like this. I would walk over it and have my toes hang off the edges, or have my heel hang off the edges. So this way I release my feet and I can keep going or keep practicing or just move more freely. All right, I think that's it for today. I will take you outside. The sun sadly has left the building, but maybe you can still see the colors. The colors of fall are amazing this time of year. Let me find the best angle for you. There, yes. So that's our view. We can, it's my plant. There's 3 different colors here, the yellow, the almost blue, and then the green. And in the back, that's my ring light reflecting. In the back you can see, hopefully, yes, you can see there's more trees and some green, bright yellow. And the leaves are starting to fall. Whenever it's windy, the leaves pass by our window. And I think that's very romantic. So I hope this was of help. Yes, no Lego walking. I don't think that's therapeutic. A bit too much. You don't want to traumatize your poor feet. Yes, so give them some love. Give yourself some love. And I will be sending this. Oh, you live in the mountains. Show me a picture if it's beautiful in fall there. I would love to see your fall areas. Yeah, in the mirror now you can see the yellow one I was searching for. And yes, I love being near nature. I think it has saved my sanity. We go out to walk. Even if it's rainy like yesterday, you can find beautiful things in any weather. And it's important just to root, to reconnect. Getting some time for yourself and getting some time outside of all the input that we are bombarded with these days, that's also a good way to relax your body and to give yourself a kind of break. I recommend this for everyone. I need it, and also it recharges my batteries yes. I like rain also. Even outside, we have a good raincoat, so that's important that you don't get sniffly, not in these days. But I like hearing the rain. Also, it makes me feel that I'm on a planet and not just in a box, which you can kind of feel like if you're in an apartment for too long. Yeah, so that's it from me for today. I will send this video to you in your mailbox on Friday. In the meantime, if you have any questions about this video, let me know. If you have any requests, let me know. I'm open to new ones, as you can see. And feel free to send the Tip Drops link, I'll add it here also, to anyone you think might benefit of them. They will stay for free. I don't know if I can keep it up going every week, but for this year, yes. Next year, I will keep going. Frequency depends on the inspiration, but I still have plenty of ideas. So hopefully, yes, we'll keep doing this for a while. Good. Bye-bye. See you soon. And thank you for being here.